If you've ever pulled an all-nighter or questioned your life choices at 3 a.m. or felt completely overwhelmed in the studio, this video is for you. Architecture school is often intense, but it doesn't mean that burnout should be part of the process. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be going through some useful tips on ways that you can avoid burnout from tips that I've tested over my 3 years of undergrad and currently during my master's. Let's start with the biggest problem. Architecture for centuries has glorified overworked culture and the aspect that pulling all-nighters equals a good designer. However, normally when your brain is tired, you think less productively. And personally, from my experience, I found this to be true. I would rather be more productive during the day having got loads of sleep than on 5% creativity if I was to pull an all-night. So what I often like to do is, rather than at the start of the day saying, oh, I'm going to be working all day on this, as it will often overwhelm me, I like to break it down into smaller chunks. So break that into 1 or 2 tasks. With each task, sometimes I like to give it time limits. So say, oh, I'm going to be reading this chapter of the book an hour. So then that stops me from going over the hour or like losing track of the tasks, and helps me easily manage my time. What I like to remember is that small steps and small progress beats procrastination. And particularly in terms of time, it's really important, because once that time is done, I'm like, there's no guilt involved, it's stopped, I've done. Often in the past, what I've tended to do is being like, oh, just another minute or just 10 more minutes, and then I can get carried along in the process. So having a hard stop is really beneficial. And the third point is, don't work alone all the time. I know personally from bachelor's, I often found the best work to be like by myself, as I can often put my full concentration, but coming into the studio and being part of community really helps your creative process. You can like discuss your ideas with friends, collaborate, see what they're doing, feed off like their ideas, or even if you're stuck on an idea that you can't resolve personally, I just like go to the person next to me to like gain their insight. Sometimes like a 10-minute conversation can save you like 5 hours time if you were trying to do the same process by yourself. Fourth is, think of your basic needs. So food, water and exercise. So we covered sleep in the first point, and the next is water and exercise. Personally, staying hydrated and moving your body is essential to generating good ideas. For example, like if you're in the studio like 4 hours, just take a 5-minute, 10-minute stroll outside the building or in your area to just gain your ideas flowing and just remove yourself from the same environment that you've been stuck in. And sometimes that 5 or 10-minute walk can generate a new idea. Think of your brain like a design tool. Like your physical body, it needs to be treated and like preserved and taken care of, so that you can then apply that knowledge into your own design. And then another tip, 5th tip, is to separate your design work from like your personal identity. This is particularly crucial when you're doing like presentations, so like intercrits or crits, and often some of the feedback in the past can feel quite harsh or like a personal attack on you. But separating that and viewing it from another lens, as if you're like an outsider, can really help to see your project through a different lens and take on that constructive feedback in a healthier way, rather than feeling like, oh, I'm not good enough because so-and-so said this. Often throughout my undergrad, I tried to set a healthy time, so because I personally couldn't stay awake till like after 11:30, I'd sometimes get up early, like maybe 7:30, to just get in that extra hour that other people would have done all-nighters or way late into the night. But it really depends on your like personal preference of how late or how early you like to get up. But I really recommend just avoiding all-nighters. It's really not the one. And then another tip I'd recommend is to just maybe give like an hour or maybe like half a day during the weekend or at some point to like really give your mind a rest, and that can help to avoid burnout as well. And also trying to set to-do lists. So what I like to do is on a Sunday before Monday starts, do like a general list of what I like to get done during the week. And then so on that day, for example Monday, I'd break down that weekly list into smaller chunks, put them like onto post-it notes, things like that, to like not overwhelm me. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully some of these tips have been useful for you guys, stuff that I've encountered in the past, and hopefully it will make you enjoy architecture school better than previously. Or if you have any hesitations coming into architecture school, knowing that it doesn't have to be all-nighters and you don't have to put your body through torment. And if you have any comments, please drop them in the... And if you have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer any questions. And if you have any ideas for any future videos that you'd like to see, please let me know, and I'd be really happy to make one. And yeah, see you in the next one.